Hello, everybody. Welcome to the draft edition of the wrap up. Wanted to wait until we got through all 7 rounds, so that way I could have all the Packers picks instead of doing this, day by day. I'll keep this short. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on every pick. There is a ton of better people out there to cover this here at Cheesehead TV than I will, but I wanted to give you just, a very Cliff's Notes version of the activity this weekend. So we all know Thursday. We were hoping, some of us were waiting for them to take that first round wide receiver. Didn't happen. Goody stuck to his gun. So there were 6 wide receivers taken in the top 18 picks, which was an unprecedented run at that position in the draft. So he let the board fall to him. They got 2 guys. They got Quay Walker, linebacker from Georgia at 22. And then they also got Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle, taken at number 28, also from Georgia. So in that first round, you got 2 studs from what's arguably the best college defense of all time. And you finally got both Kenny Clark some top flight help. I do know they signed Jerron Reed, obviously, but a guy like Devontae Wyatt is just taking a completely different type of player at that position. And they also put a potential stud linebacker next to Devondre Campbell. So, we've been begging for decent linebacker help inside for a long time, and now you've got a first team all pro on one side and you got a guy that's going to play a lot next to him, as I said, from an elite defense from Georgia and the SEC. So they did actually try, believe it or not, to take a first round wide receiver. So in the second round, they did end up making a trade with the Vikings. Packers gave up their 53rd and 59th pick, so both second rounders, to move up. Brian Gutekunst said the same deal was offered um, um, on Thursday, but the Vikings didn't want to take it because they didn't want the Packers having the 5th-year option. I appreciate the gamesmanship, right, and the pettiness, and it does seem pricey to give up, both of those seconds to move up, but you're going to pay a premium trading within your division, number one, and on top of that, when they know what you need and who you're targeting, I mean, they're going to make you pay for it. So, but what they got in Watson, a size and speed freak. He's a guy that tall, over 6'3", ran in the 4.3s. So a guy that big isn't supposed to run that fast. He had a full 10 RAS score for those of you that follow those, and he does still need some polish. I would expect, just like everybody does, that he will contribute right away. But he coming from North Dakota State, he does need a little bit of polish, but I think it's going to be an excellent pick. And as far as upside, just physical upside at that position, I'm not sure there was a player with more upside at wide receiver. Third round, number 92 overall, bolster the offensive line with Sean, I believe it's Ryan, it's just Rhyan. He could start, at guard. He's got swing tackle flexibility, great run blocker, and he got better every year in college. So, I would expect someone like him with that experience and versatility and the way he plays, maybe Royce Newman kind of really has a battle, in front of him in camp this year. Fourth round, they added another wide receiver, Romeo Doubs from Nevada. That was pick 132, a guy that can definitely help you as a deep threat. He's a premier deep threat, and he should also be able to contribute right away as a returner. He did that in college. So, again, on a special teams unit that needs a complete overhaul, the more talent and good guys you get at these positions, that's going to help Rich Bisaccia from day one. Also in the fourth round, they took another offensive lineman, Zach Tom, and this was an excellent, I think if read around Twitter, read draft recaps, an excellent value pick. For those of you that prescribe to, benefit to Pro Football Focus, he was their highest graded pass blocking player in all of college football. He started 37 games. 23 of those were at left tackle, 14 were at center. So again, a team that loves versatile linemen and that covets them. This is a guy that could push for a starting spot, and another guy that can play multiple positions and I think it's very clear that the Packers are, they are easily the best team in the league at finding these, day two, day three offensive linemen that can come in and play serious snaps. Fifth round, they finally addressed edge Kingsley Enagbare, South Carolina. So this was pick 179. And, based on where he was projected by a lot of draft nicks, whichever ones you like, this was a steal because he was projected in a lot of articles and things that I saw to be, late second, third rounder. So to get him in the fifth at pick 179 is extremely good value. You would expect he'll be in the rotation heavily and especially early. I mean, there's not a ton of depth behind Gary and Preston Smith. There are guys that have been hurt that the Packers are getting back to, but getting a guy of this talent level at that position where you want to have as many competent guys as possible to, you can keep them fresh in a game. So I would expect that he'll get some looks early. And so we didn't have anything in the sixth. So 3 seventh rounders the Packers had. And you kind of got to think all of these were made with a special teams focus in mind. You're, like I said, you're getting Bisaccia tools right away that he can use and giving him chess pieces because you need to completely overhaul what's been going on the last, almost decade. Pick 234 was Jonathan Ford, defensive tackle for Miami. I'm sorry. I'm one ahead here. Tariq Carpenter was first. He's a safety from Georgia Tech, pick 228. You needed safety depth. If that does help, he's kind of a tweener. He's a bigger body guy, but great on special teams. I think, the more safety linebacker type bodies you can have on special teams is just going to be great for this unit because it kind of feels like that's the type of physicality and play that they've been missing. Next at 234 is when they took Jonathan Ford, that Miami defensive tackle. He's a gigantic human being, 6'5", 330. He's played a lot of special teams, and it's another big body on the defensive line that we've needed for the past couple of years. So Kenny has gotten significant help this offseason, both with the signing of Reed and this draft. I mean, he's got to be stoked. Next, you got Rasheed Walker. He's an offensive tackle from Penn State. This was pick 249. Started a ton of games, 32 game starter. His best traits are as a run blocker, but again, you're getting more depth for an even increasingly better O-line. I mean, this O-line, what the guys are getting back, obviously complete stellar players in Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins eventually next year. It seems like they're going to be able to roll 8-10 linemen deep, and that is absurd and amazing because when you look around the rest of the league, we're extremely spoiled with O-line play because it is just absolutely horrendous for some teams. And finally, last pick of the draft for the Packers, Samori Toure. He's a wide receiver from Nebraska. This was pick 258. So again, you're adding another piece to a wide receiver room that is going to get a lot of looks, rotation, and action because the ball's going to have to be spread all over the place, and they're going to have to see what they have in all these guys. So the competition at wide receiver in camp is going to be an absolute joy to watch, in my opinion. But it's another great depth pick, and he also can give you value as a returner. That's something he did in college. So basically, you got 3 wide receivers, 3 offensive linemen, 2 defensive tackles, a linebacker, and a safety. I think personally, it's my favorite Goot draft so far. I mean, the team is now defensively completely rock solid. I mean, up the middle where we've been soft and has been the weakness for so long, it's crazy to say that should be a strength of the defense this year. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft, and go Pack Go.